See you on the beach.
When Steven Spielberg was talking to Mel Gibson about plans for his latest movie, Saving Private Ryan, Gibson, based on his Braveheart experience, recommended Ireland as an ideal location for battle scenes. Braveheart used Ireland as the location for all of its battle scenes, and the Irish Army Reserves, the FCA, as its extras. It was these spectacular battle scenes which won this film critical and popular acclaim. It is D-Day, June the 6th, 1944, and the Allied forces are storming the Normandy beaches. While some beaches are easily taken, with drowning being the main cause of death, the American troops landing on Omaha Beach are confronted by well-defended German positions. The landings on Omaha Beach rapidly descend into chaos, with hundreds losing their lives in the ensuing carnage. The producer of Saving Private Ryan, Ian Bryce, was particularly impressed with the caliber of the Irish troops.
The picture obviously has to have trained personnel. We can't really do a picture like this with regular extras, as we would call them back in Hollywood. The work that's being done with men jumping off of landing craft into water and storming beaches with explosions and bullet hits and squibs and stunts and vehicles on the beach, it's very sort of precision and potentially hazardous work. And really, we felt that the only way to do it was with the participation of a trained Army unit, which I'm happy to say we have.
Clothing and feeding 750 extras on a daily basis proved quite a logistical challenge. The FCA, veterans of Braveheart, were split into 15 groups of 50. The troops were then fed into a system affectionately known as the sausage machine by associate producer Kevin Delanoy.
And they worked on it. This morning, the platoons who'd only been here a day were absolutely excellent. They went through wardrobe in 17 minutes, one of the incoming platoons, with no rehearsal or anything. Gaiters, get the man next to you to help you. Work a buddy-buddy system. You can't go wrong with that on this film. Help the guy next to you, let him help you. That works for safety, that works for your gaiters, that works for the whole system. So do work together and help each other. Work as a platoon, work as a body. We're going to have out there tomorrow 550 people in front of the camera, the day after 750, and that's our biggest days on this film. It's the opening sequence of the movie. It's a very important sequence, it's a very exciting sequence. And I hope that you follow in the footsteps and set the same high standards of those other platoons around you.
With Saving Private Ryan, their latest invasion of Hollywood, the Irish Army were able to provide the feeding and accommodation required for the 750 extras used in the film.
My job is to provide accommodation for the FCA personnel and the PDF personnel that are involved in the making of the film. At the moment here we have accommodation for 750 FCA people and approximately 100 PDF. Behind me here we have the gymnasium. We have 150 bunk beds in here. We have 150 personnel staying in here. We have two marquees with 500 people in it. We provide them with safari beds and sleeping bags, which had to be drawn from the 4 different commands.
The job of catering for these troops was the responsibility of the head of the Defence Forces School of Catering, Commandant Norman Farragher. He told us of the challenge facing him.
The film company give us very limited times for both breakfast and for lunch on the ground. So we have to put 850 people through in less than an hour for breakfast. And for lunch on the ground, which is at the film set, we have to put the same number through in about 40 minutes. That means that we must carefully select our menus, have our staff well organised, and have the type of menus where people don't have difficulty in partaking of.
Just let me see a position, sir. German. Hold it there, hold it.
my job here in the film is I'm adjutant of the No. 2 Film Support Unit, and as such I'm the administration officer for that unit. What that means is we're responsible for the administration of all the PDF and the 700 and odd FCA men who have come and joined this film support unit to make the film Saving Private Ryan. When they arrive first, basically what we do is we process all the FCA men who arrive. The first thing that happens is they're divided into platoons of 50. The idea of this is for control and organisation out on the film set. So what we do is we get the platoon of 50 and we take all their personal details. We take their name, their date of birth, their next of kin, their unit they're from, their address, contact phone numbers, stuff like that. So that we put it up here on file, we have it for our own use, and also if they're in case of emergency or that, we can contact their home unit.
In addition to the 3,000 uniforms required, the design team also sourced the original company that made the GI's boots. They had 2,000 pairs manufactured to the original specification.
As the extras arrive in St. Peter's College, they're processed through the Army administration and they arrive at wardrobe. Now when they arrive, they go to the sequence of clothing, through then the rank system, through gaiters, boots, helmets, and then onto makeup.
Once on the set, the troops were issued with the props and weapons of the era.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
But platoon? Okay, what we're going to do is just going to stand by in here. We get lads to speak to you about your weapon. Okay, and then we stand by until 0900 hours for some guys to have a chat with you.
Spielberg and his production team spent 3 months sourcing the 2,000 weapons used in the film. 1,500 of the rifles were made of rubber, and after each day's action had to be repainted on a nightly basis. The remaining 500 were in working order and were used to fire blanks during the filming. Due to the fact that the equipment was over 50 years old, instruction on its correct use was necessary for the extras.
The belt should be lying so that the magazines are on your hip but not over it. And the backpack up high. Strap that iron loosened goes under the arm and attaches to the D-hook on the pack. Water bottle is in stores since 1940 something. Right? Don't attempt drink water out of it.
And that you're going to be able to deliver the type of performance, and I mean no grinning, no silliness, concentrated effort, that'll make this film one of the greatest World War II films ever made. Now I'm going to give you a brief history if you don't know anything about Saving Private Ryan. Quickly, 1943, 42, 43, there was the USS Juno. And on it were the Sullivans, 4 brothers. U.S. Navy usually didn't allow to have all brothers or all family members together at one time. They made this exception. The USS Juno was torpedoed by a German U-boat. 3 of them died instantly. The other one about 24 hours later in a life raft. Dwight D. Eisenhower at this time decided that it was not the business of the United States Army to kill off a whole family. And it also was known that that particular family, the Sullivan family, had made one of the greatest sacrifices any family could have made during World War II.